Morning, everyone. Oops, there we go. My story starts with 5 years ago. I had a child with learning disabilities, and I was frustrated that the interactions that he had in class were not good enough. And with all the fantastic technology you read about, I was surprised that nothing really helped him. And that's how Echo360 got started. As you can see, we've grown quite a bit. Fundamentally, where we fit in the landscape is we're focused on the conversation between the teacher and the student. We connect into LMSs, we connect into CMSs, but most technology in a higher ed institution has nothing to do with the teaching learning moment. That's where we're focused. At this point, we're 120 employees. We're in over 600 colleges in 30 countries, over 1 million classes recorded and viewed, 5.6 million students viewing, and over 200,000 distance learning programs already underway. So we already run a big enterprise. Fundamentally, if you walk into the president of a university, they're faced with the following challenge, and this is where we fit into the landscape. Hey, budgets are going down, everyone realizes that. They look at their tech spend, and they spend a lot on lots of great things, but fundamentally nothing touches the teaching learning moment. So the way a classroom, the way before, during, and after is fundamentally the same as it was 30 years ago with laptops and better projectors. And so, if you're a president, you're probably reading the news about MOOCs. MOOCs are fantastic. It's really opened up the platform. It does absolutely nothing for the tuition-paying student. So if you're president and you got people paying $50,000 a year, what are you going to do? It's great to do both, but you have to have something. That's where we come in. The fact is that when you talk about revolutionizing education, you have to talk about the 99%. There's 100 million students in the world taking degree courses from real schools. There's 20,000 institutions. Almost none of them have the technology they need to improve the service they're delivering to people who are paying them dollars every day. That's where we fit in. What Echo does is it's a software platform that's designed to work across an entire school. And the simplest way to describe what we do is we do three things. We take the bricks and mortar teaching that goes on in every campus and we make it better. We make it, we'll talk about it, but we make it more interactive, we make it easier for the students to learn, and we take advantage of the physical facilities. Second, if you run an institution, you have to deal with distance learning. MOOCs is one of them, but you have all kinds of different operations. You might have a joint venture in Saudi Arabia, you might have people who are commuters, 75% of students are not full-time, are adult learners. So there's all kinds of opportunities. We help a school do that as well. And third is we bring it all together with analytics, because if you start to capture the teaching learning experience, you also gather data, and so we can actually provide statistics. So we put those three things together. When you put those three things together, it's called active learning, and that's what we do. 90% of students believe that it helps, and lots of data that works that way. This is the modern classroom. Whether it's big or small, when you look at it, fundamentally you see a row of computers. What are they doing on those computers? Are they on Facebook, ESPN? If you're a professor, you have no idea really what they're doing. And fundamentally, it's also, as classes get larger in a lot of places, it's hard for students to feel comfortable asking questions or using it. A lot of schools have laptop policies. Well, are they doing educational learning around it? Yes, they're getting on their LMS, that's great. But fundamentally, they're not doing enough. So what we do is try and address how to do that. And in University of Michigan, for example, the studies show that participation rates in class went from 3% to 65%. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a video to explain how it works.
Echo360 Active Learning. We plug the classroom into the digital age and enable everything you read about in the latest trends in distance learning, MOOCs, flipped classrooms, and interactive classroom engagement.
It has fundamentally changed my teaching style because during class it makes a more engaging environment. The students are more involved.
There's more interaction related to the content. The students are more active, engaged, and learning what they need to learn.
Active learning opens up a new world of engaged education. Here's how it works. Before class, an instructor uploads his or her PowerPoint presentation to the cloud. If a recorded lecture is available, the instructor can assign students to watch it before class. Because the course materials are cloud-based, students can access them on demand using their laptops, tablets, even smartphones. For use during class, Echo360 enables instructors to easily add interactive slides to their presentations, offering polls, open-ended questions, reviews, and quizzes during class. Students respond in real time. No specialized hardware or clickers are required. It also allows students to ask questions anonymously. Professors or teaching assistants can respond to students behind the scenes. After class, students have a convenient online study tool that includes the notes they've taken alongside the instructor's slides.
It definitely helps prepare you for the class, rewind lectures, and it helps you study for the class as well.
Students can review lecture recordings from any device at any time, rewinding as many times as needed, or even engage in crowdsourced learning through online discussions. After class, instructors can track student understanding with a daily in-class report card of student activities. Analytics highlight student viewing habits and even flag hotspots in lectures. The best of traditional education blended with the newest modern technologies to transform your learning environment. Echo360 is taking education to a higher level.
Oops. Hopefully that gives you just a quick, let me just go back. Hopefully that gives you a quick sense of what it is. Let me just explain how the system works so you walk out of here understanding. So think of it as a system that fundamentally before class, so we all heard of flipped classrooms. A professor now can upload the information for a lecture. They can choose to have the students watch it before they go to class. They can check to see whether the students watched it because now everything's online. So we're now generating data before class. They get to class. They now want to have increased participation. As the professor is actually delivering the lecture, the students are typing on their computers. They're not watching Facebook. They're literally typing notes on their computers. You can ask questions in class to understand whether they understand what's going on. Students can say, I don't understand, and anonymously tell the teacher that they're not understanding something. After class, they can literally review the lecture. They can watch the recording of the lecture, or they can simply go through the slides. All of that generates data, which generates dashboards for the administration and the faculty to understand whether what they're doing is effective. And that's really what we do. We do this both for traditional campus. We're also one of the largest distance learning programs today, all for a cost of less than $10 per student per year, essentially. Oops. There we go. I'm going to skip over some slides. Let's just talk about whether it works. So fundamentally, we've been around a while, and it works. So in all kinds of different ways. Fundamentally, it improves grades. These are school research. It improves grades because students, particularly those in the B, C, D range, are able to improve. A students always get A's. F students don't do the work. But in between, it actually increases grade point average. It helps with dropout rates. It helps with in science and technology courses. And it works across every type of school, from an Ivy League to community college to the entire country of Estonia. This system is working at scale. Likewise, we talked about distance learning. Today, for example, at King Faisal, we are running men and women in Saudi Arabia can't be educated in the same classroom. We're educating over 120,000 students for degree-seeking courses today. So we have hundreds of thousands of students who are doing that as well. All this comes with the same package. So fundamentally, if you want to do something online, and then you want to do something on campus, and you want the analytics, you don't have to have 3 or 4 different pieces. And again, we don't promise to answer every question. We integrate into all the major units. So whether it's an LMS or you want to publish a lecture to a MOOC, we enable all of that. So that's really our story. That's just a small list of our client base. As you can see, it's diverse and it's global. United States is actually not in the lead. It's actually UK and Australia are really at the vanguard of some of this. So thank you for your time, and happy to answer any questions after.